Hello, I'm Dallas Blackiston, Alderman for New Bern's 1st Ward. This time of year is a great time to be out and about in New Bern, especially downtown. The weather is wonderful. And we have, with this change of seasons, a lot of upcoming events and activities, starting with the Mum Fest in early October, followed by the Ghost Walk later in October, and leading into the holiday season when we'll have special tours, concerts, and special events and activities at Tryon Palace. And as always, our police department is involved and concerned about public safety and security for our residents, business owners, and our visitors. Today I'm joined by Captain Nick Lucas and Officer Shelton Brown of the New Bern Police Department, who are joining me to talk a little bit about how crime prevention and policing is a 24/7 nonstop activity. Captain Lucas, can you tell us a little bit about your concerns and ideas that you want to share with the public in general about policing and crime prevention?
Yes, sir. In looking at crime in New Bern, our two biggest crimes that we have are larcenies and motor vehicle break-ins. They're generally opportunistic crimes, and they're committed by nonviolent offenders. In looking at the numbers for just the downtown area, since Memorial Day, 100% of our motor vehicle break-ins have been of unlocked or unsecured vehicles. That's a very preventable crime. People generally don't want to draw attention to themselves as they're going to try and steal something, but they don't want to smash windows out and things like that. They're just going to walk through parking lots and pull on door handles. Okay. So one of the biggest preventable things we can do to reduce our crimes and reduce being victimized is just simply lock our vehicles. It's very simple, and I think it's a representation of how safe people feel in downtown. They feel like it's such a nice area and they're having a good time and they feel so safe down there that they're not concerned about it. But again, there's always opportunistic people out there, and if you give them the opportunity, they certainly will take advantage of it. So please lock your vehicles.
Okay. I understand that you have a new program that you're looking at implementing that will help the downtown businesses in their safety outlook.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. We are going to start going to business and start doing some individual security surveys. We'll be looking at lighting in and around the establishment, landscaping around the businesses, the security systems inside the businesses, alarms, door locks, window locks, things of that nature. And we're going to make suggestions on how we feel the businesses can operate safer and make their workplaces more safe.
When we talk about alarm systems, Captain Lucas, how does that interface with our dispatch controllers and having the police department involved in an alarm system?
Well, essentially the alarm notifies our call center that there's an alarm in the business. Once the alarm comes into our call center, it goes straight out to the police officers over the radio and they respond. And we have a very quick response time for our alarms.
Very, very quick response time.
Yes.
So alarms do help and make the business area downtown safer.
Without a doubt, having an alarm in itself helps, and publicizing that you have an alarm also helps. If people see that a business is alarmed and they realize that there's going to be a consequence to trying to break into that business, they tend to leave it alone.
And we understand, of course, with the Pokemon craze that's going on, the phenomena of Pokemon, we have more downtown night activities with those players. Is there any particular suggestions you can make in terms of their public personal safety and security?
Yes, sir. Really the only complaint we've had to do with the Pokemon players is just personal safety issues. We've had a number of complaints of people walking out mid-block between parked cars and walking across the roadway. We've almost had several motor vehicle accidents versus pedestrians due to that. So just being more aware of their environment, not just walking out into the roadway, making sure they're checking before they walk out into the roadway. That's the biggest safety concern we've got.
And as I understand it, most of the Pokemon players, they are in groups, they're in clusters of 3, 4, half a dozen folks. Is that pretty much what
they may be? Yes, sir.
What they could be doing? Okay. I also understand we're looking at ways to improve our response time and increase our police presence throughout the city, but in particular downtown.
Yes, sir.
We have some ideas for flexible patrolling. Maybe Officer Brown can speak to that.
Yes, sir. We're actually looking at using flexible patrolling for various times and areas throughout the city. We've selected those areas by the use of evidence-based policing, crime analysis, and where prior incidents have occurred at, so that we're closer to these incidents and have a shorter, even faster response time, and hopefully kind of prevent some of these crimes from being repeat occurrences.
Well, we've talked about motor vehicles, we've talked about pedestrians. How about people that are on bicycles? What should they do to make sure they're secure in their movement, as well as leaving a bicycle parked somewhere close to a business? What should they do?
Well, the biggest thing they can do, of course, is just lock up their bicycle. A lot of times people use a bicycle. It's easier in the downtown area with it. To leave it leaning up against a post or a wall somewhere, they'll run to a business real quick, come out, and their bike's gone. And it takes just that long for that crime to happen. So locking up those bicycles is essential. That's one of our biggest contributors to our larceny problem in the downtown area.
Okay. And we talked earlier about children, certainly young children, and pets should not be left in a motor vehicle unattended.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
That can be a problem, certainly, I would imagine, during extreme weather conditions, either hot or really cold, and as well.
Yes, sir. Even if it's just for a moment or two, you should never leave your child or your pets in your vehicle unattended. You never know, the vehicle may shut off. It's definitely a hazard.
How about people that make quick stops? Do they go ahead and turn their vehicle off, take the keys with them, not leave the car running, that sort of thing?
Yes, sir, without a doubt. If you're going to make a quick stop into a business, take the time to go ahead and roll your windows up, take the keys out of the ignition, and lock the car up again. It takes seconds to commit a break into a motor vehicle and to steal something. It takes seconds to jump into a car and drive away with it. And there are opportunistic criminals out there who look for that type of thing.
Okay. How about issues related to what we would call panhandling or loitering, particularly in a suspicious manner? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Sure. Panhandling in itself is something that we really try and discourage. New Bern is, there are a number of wonderful programs in New Bern to help people that need assistance. And there's essentially no need for somebody to stand on the street corner panhandling. Often the money that you think you're giving to somebody for a particular purpose may go to another purpose, often an illegal activity. So we really don't want to contribute to panhandling. We do everything we can to discourage it. Aggressive panhandling is illegal. If somebody comes up to you and they make you feel uncomfortable, or they're threatening towards you, asking you for money or items, that's a crime, and you need to call the police department immediately and report that to us.
Okay. And that number is?
633-2020.
And how about employees that are working downtown and perhaps at late night establishments? What should they do to ensure their personal safety? What recommendations do you have for them in terms of close up and what they might be doing after dark?
Sure. Several things they can do. Our late night businesses downtown, they'll often spend maybe up to an hour or longer cleaning up and getting things ready for the next business day. Things like taking out the trash or going outside the business to clean up. Make sure you're not wedging the doors open and leaving them open while you're outside dumping trash or something like that. If you do go outside the business late at night, go in pairs or have somebody watch you from the door to make sure that everything's okay. At the end of the night when you're going home, leave all at one time. Don't stagger out one at a time. People tend to get victimized much less when they're in a group. And often if somebody is looking to victimize somebody, they'll try and get somebody who's single or by themselves.
Okay. We know that folks come downtown to have a good time. If someone's having a really good time, what should they do if they're with a group of folks and they're at one of our local bar establishments?
Well, of course, pre-planning is the biggest part. So, and if you're going downtown to have a good time with some friends, that's fine. Just make sure you've got a designated driver, one person that's going to be responsible for everybody else, and make sure that everybody gets home safely. In the event that that plan doesn't go as it should have, we recommend that you find an alternative way of getting home, but under no means, please do not drive after you've been consuming any amount of alcohol.
Okay. Officer Brown, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers? Any other thoughts, Captain Lucas, about individual safety and security?
I think one of the biggest things we'd like to touch on or remind citizens of is to try to lock their cars up, lock their valuables up, put their valuables and electronics out of view, so they hopefully will not make themselves more of a victim of a unlocked car break-in. Larcenies are one of the highest crimes in our city, and we like to ask the citizens to do as much as they can to help reduce these larcenies from occurring.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, we certainly thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to having a very beautiful fall weather and wonderful outdoor activities downtown. And as always, we appreciate all the hard work that the New Bern Police Department does on our behalf 24/7 in crime prevention and policing. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.